This, my friends, is a video I wanted to get out last year already. It's about outstanding, incredibly good white fans. These are the Be Quiet Silent Wings Pro 4 White, the 120mm version. Previously, in the past, I've only reviewed the black version. I was really impressed by those. Even months later, I still have the same opinion and generally count the Silent Wings Pro 4 fans to my all-time favorites. In terms of performance, today's fans won't differ at all from the black ones. Nonetheless, I'll briefly go over the highlights and features that make these fans so special. The price compared to the black variant is pretty much the same at roughly $30 a piece currently. Now, these fans aren't exactly cheap, but to be fair, they're part of the high-end lineup. These could potentially be fans for your next white PC build, if you are into white, that is. Each individual package contains a variety of included items, namely one Silent Wings Pro 4 in white, and in a small extra packaging, 2 types of fan corners, as well as screws and push pins. Finally, some paper documentation. Out of the box, the so-called radiator corners are already pre-attached to the fans. These are best suited for use on radiators. For use as a case fan, the anti-vibration corners are, in theory, the best ones, and these have to be installed using the included push pins. The best, somewhere in between solution, is probably the third type of fan corner. Now, the respective fan corners are fairly easy to swap. Regarding the overall build quality, these fans deserve a lot of praise, as everything is of extremely high quality and there's also some weight to it. And I believe the white version has been done exceptionally well. Every little detail, such as cables, the connector, and even the sticker, are kept in all white. There is no RGB lighting whatsoever here. Perhaps the biggest feature of the Silent Wings Pro 4 is the fact we can set the maximum fan speed ourselves using a physical switch directly on the fan. You can choose between 1600, 2500 and a remarkable 3000 RPM. Out of the box, it's set to the lowest and quietest 1600 RPM mode. The specs of today's fan model look insanely good on paper. Both the high airflow and static pressure are fantastic. We're looking at an FDB, a fluid dynamic bearing. Test setup. The AMD Ryzen 9 5950X 16-core CPU was used for the tests. All fans in the test were mounted to the Be Quiet Pure Loop 360mm AIO liquid cooler. Only 3 fans are tested at a time. Noise levels. I'll make it clear right away that you shouldn't expect any difference in the values between the black and white versions of the Silent Wings Pro 4. Actually, I was able to achieve the quietest, the best values with these Silent Wings Pro 4, however only in the 1600 RPM mode. If you set the maximum speed to 2500 or even 3000 RPM using the switch, things are getting quite noisy. We're looking at a maximum of 59 decibels. Airflow is great then, but clearly at the expense of noise levels. Temperatures at max fan speed. In this Cinebench 2024 run, these Silent Wings Pro 4 at their 3000 RPM setting are among the best performing fans in a chart. But when compared to the 1600 RPM mode, we lose 3 degrees Celsius in cooling performance. The 2500 RPM setting most likely offers the golden mean. Regardless of the mode, these are some really respectable values offered here. In the Prime 95 stress test, the CPU load seems to drop ever so slightly. Therefore, if the CPU usage and heat output isn't that high, it does make a lot of sense to go for the 1600 RPM setting in terms of noise levels, as we aren't sacrificing a whole lot of cooling performance under such load. However, it must also be mentioned that many other fans also achieve really good results. Temperatures at a fixed 40 decibels. Back to Cinebench 2024 load, but now with all fans normalized to run at exactly 40 decibels, the 2500 and 3000 RPM settings for the Silent Wings Pro 4 deliver exactly identical values. The 1600 RPM mode, on the other hand, is slightly inferior, but hardly worth mentioning. What is certain though is that the fans tested today, no matter their max noise level when lowered in fan speed and with their noise level reduced, deliver really good performance values. A very similar picture emerges in the Prime 95 test. In my opinion, there's nothing to complain about here. But I don't want to keep praising today's Be Quiet fans non-stop, because there are much cheaper fans out there serving their purpose just as well. Conclusion. The Silent Wings Pro 4 are undoubtedly remarkably good fans. I'm very happy they're also available in white. While I'm personally mostly Team Black, there are plenty of enthusiasts who are on the hunt for really good, high-quality fans in Snow White. And today's Be Quiet fans are apparently aimed exactly at that target group, enthusiasts who don't mind spending a bit more on their fans. I'd probably count myself to that very same group of people. As great as I think the RPM switch on the fan is, I still have to say that you have to make up your mind on which RPM mode you'll be going with before installing the fan into your system. Sometimes you don't even know before you haven't tried. But I think it's really great that we users can set the maximum speed ourselves. However, if you're already adjusting the fan curve below 1600 RPM, the 2500 and 3000 RPM settings won't really be useful to you anyway. But then again, that's a whole different topic. I can definitely recommend these Be Quiet Silent Wings Pro 4 white fans. Do you like the fans I was taking a look at today? If you enjoyed the video, I'd of course appreciate a like, but feel free to make use of that dislike button if you feel like it. With that said, thank you for watching, and until the next one.